Dearly redheaded, we are choosing consciousness today to get through this thing called grief. Interesting word, grief. It means love, which makes for a mighty good joke. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing else. Just joy. And if the big picture tends to bring you down, go crazy once your life goes. Woo!
What if I do this one in a different voice?
Okay.
I don't do imitations, but I do role play. Lots of it. All right. You put me on a tangent. We started to talk a little bit about education. Mm-hmm. I remember, and I'm not, once again, I can't always do things justice, but I remember years ago, Louis C.K. used to bust on the Common Core and on education. Any recollection of that?
Yes, and I understand because some of that.
Yeah, and I am well aware of the good, bad, and the ugly where CK is concerned, but I maintain, he's a funny fuck. Sorry. I still want to roast him. He also needs a sapiosexual dominatrix to roast him. That was, I offered. I offered. He didn't take me up on it. I told you about that, right?
Vaguely. We should just do an episode and do it anyway. But that's for later.
Oh, God. That's really funny. Yeah. He needs a little bit. Anyway, but when he would do it, he would fall short. He wouldn't pull the trigger on busting them to the. He would rub up against it, get the and I was like, oh, you can please take that to the stratosphere, please. They deserve it. Go. The situations I had with teachers, predominantly female. I pick on female teachers, real estate agents. There's professions I associate with gender that I bust balls in, and then teachers I'm relentless when it comes to female teachers because they're all left-brained, and you got ADHD, you got autism, and you know the women in particular. I know that I'm sounding. I'm sorry. It was just hell having two bright boys in the school system in New Paltz, New York. NEWPALTZ from 2004 to 2000, whenever the fuck. I experienced the whole. I could do comedy for 2 hours on that. The situations, and I ended up being a real asshole. And they decided that I would embarrass them, so they did what needed to be done because they didn't want me to embarrass them. I couldn't. It was embarrassing. I don't know how they didn't know to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of a funny situation. There was so much. There was so much. I wrote a joke about a teacher. It's in my comedy video from 2009, and she used to take away a picture. I just have to say it. Picture autistic, ADHD, undiagnosed, but pretty obvious what it was, and she would punitively damage these. See, I said damage. Punitively punish. See that unconscious right brain thing? That shit. I love that shit, but it's hard to explain to people. Just what she would do in particular to boys. And she didn't have a son. She had a daughter who was like fucking magna cum laude, and she would reference that daughter. I said, yeah, that's not where we're headed, lady. like yeah, you're proving my fucking point. You just don't see. You got a really bright left brain girl. Good for you. But I wrote a joke about her. If she disappears, check the grill of my car for her head hair. And in the video, you can't hear what I'm saying because I didn't have my timing down well, and the joke got sacrificed due to laughter. But I was also told the joke that, she told me my boy was ADD. She said a bunch of other shit, but I wasn't paying attention.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that joke brought the house down. And the sad part is that it had already gone on for 10 years, and it's still just as bad. We're taking the most evolutionary brains and deciding they have the problem. Ugh. Anyway, I digress. I should do more on that. The Common Core. I want to tell a story quick about the Common Core. There. I think it was kindergarten. I tried to take it on. I found that it was associated to the late 80s, McGraw-Hill in California. If I'm remembering correctly, they used to call it fuzzy math. It was an effort to make non-mathematical people think mathematically. And because the teachers couldn't, it appealed to them. Think about how fucked up that is.
No, I'm laughing because I'm a non-mathematical person, and I think the Common Core math makes it fucking harder.
So I would imagine, and again, sometimes people ask me how I know I'm autistic. I should just do a podcast on that. But understand that I didn't know how threatening I was, and I don't mean threatening their lives. I did that for fun. I meant when I would just be like 20 other kids in the room, fine, not mine. I mean, I would. You wouldn't believe what I would do. You wouldn't believe it. Maybe you would. But there was this exercise, and I'm picturing it. So let me picture it, and then I'll describe it. It was math, and it was lids on cans. So they said lids on cans, but then it was just circles. And say there was 5 circles. And it asked the student, kindergarten I think it was, circle the big lids. Now, I'm autistic. I don't know this yet. Mm-hmm. I got another one, 2 of them behind me, mathematical, unbelievable thinkers.
Yeah.
And I said to the teacher, I said, relevant to what? What is the answer there? Please tell me. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of me trying to take on the Common Core. Mm-hmm. And you know who I'd talk to? The fucking fathers. I'd be like, mothers, get the fuck away from me. What do you do for a living? Oh, come here.
Yeah.
You're in finance? Come here. Like, can you get mad about this? Because I got a vagina and, come on. Mm-hmm. I went nuts for a while. And I am very glad I did, because ultimately, and this is interesting, though, and I got to be careful, but the teacher, so then kids are doing poorly, and then they finally decide, okay, we're going to attach consequences to the teachers. And that's when all the opt-out stuff started, because now teachers have been doing all this. Now that they have some culpability, now we don't like this. So it was a woman who had both my sons, who was going to retire, who ultimately went into administration because she was so pissed off by it. So there are some good teachers out there with vaginas. But she called me in. She said, I want you to see something. And she sat me down and she showed me, it was probably by then 5th grade, maybe 6th. And she sat me down and she showed me the questions on the standardized tests. And my jaw, I cried. And she said, have your son opt out. Mm-hmm. and I did. And then I hung signs all over New Paltz. In the bus lane approaching the school, boom, boom, boom. I mean, I was so hot. I was so hot. Anyway, I don't know how that ended up. Like today, my mother with dementia used to talk about the Common Core. Oh my God, it was hell. Anyway, so this is nowhere near what I wanted to talk about, but any chance to pick on female educators, I go there. So we've talked about science today, more science than intuition. And I wanted to go back to the intuition spiritual arena because I found someone that blew my motherfucking mind. And I don't remember how I found her. Very, very often I'm led and guided, and I let my higher self take me there. And then once I get wind of something, whether or not I go down a rabbit hole, really, it again, it has to resonate, but it also has to connect with dots relative to things that fall under my calling. So this woman, you remember a few weeks ago, I was so excited about Lou Salome, and I thought, wow, that could have been me. Well, this woman is probably 25, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, maybe this is who I'll be next. I mean, her name is Gabi Kovalenko. I'm going to read you a little bit about her because that I have to do that. I did do a little bit of research, and a couple years ago, Danica Patrick interviewed her, and pretty much had the same opinion that I do, that this woman just knows. What she knows is just amazing, and how she speaks to it, clearly claircognizant, clearly, and it just is a nice balance to the other stuff that I've talked about today. So, dun 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 dun. All right. And it's Kovalenko. She has podcasts. She has individual sessions. She's a transformational thought leader and modern philosopher with a pro-consciousness approach to personal development and mindful living. She integrates principles of noetic, I had to look that up, I've never even seen that word, science and positive psychology into her philosophy to shed light on the nexus of science and spirituality, revealing the power of consciousness and potentiality within all of life. Her approach revitalizes spiritual concepts by offering a refreshing take on the self-evident truth of universal order that connects people of all ages to their innate wisdom and purpose. God, does it sound like me?
Fit. Almost identical.
Fuck, cunt. This is what I was derailed from, god damn it. Fucking fuck. Since an early age, she has demonstrated signs of divine wisdom speaking through her and has always been unique, original, and deeply philosophical. She perceives reality through the lens of higher consciousness, even in spite of her young age. These days, individuals like herself are often considered old souls, starseeds, or prodigies, but her humble personality doesn't like to identify with these labels. See, it's funny because sometimes labels, well, we can have the label argument another time. Gabi's passion lies in inspiring a fresh awareness of life by disarming limiting beliefs with self-awareness and igniting a paradigm shift towards joy, abundance, love, passion, and freedom to help an individual construct the inner world of their choosing, and in doing so, contribute to the formation of a better one for us all. Her book, came out in 24. It's called Falling Up. It's on order. It's coming. I again, if it resonates, look her up. For me, it was Bang Zoom, just like Lou Salome was. And the irony is, I think I've explained it before, I usually relate more to those who have passed on. So when I find somebody I relate to, I don't want to say who's alive. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. I looked up Gabi's following, and she probably gets, and I don't want to do it injustice, but 10 to 50,000 hits, which just astonishes me. I anything I can do to make just if it resonates, check it out. I'm going to read something else because I'm fumbling in a left brain way, and this is written. The book is intended to guide you through the exploration of your own consciousness and the path of self-realization. If you allow them to, the words will permeate your mind, heart, body, and spirit, sparking not only a shift in perspective, but a permanent energetic transformation that leads you to decipher the source code of your soul. I hope you can see that this so resonates with science. This book was born from a higher source of awareness, making every reader feel it was personally written for them. Regardless of who you are, as a unique physical being, this book will resonate with you and your unique journey, connecting dots and sparking eureka moments that will facilitate lasting shifts in consciousness. And in your reality, it will be received based on your conscious awareness and energetic receptivity. If you're tired of stagnation, apathy, confusion, purposelessness, imbalance, victimhood, pain, or any form of suffering in life, or you're just looking for answers and a higher understanding of universal awareness, Falling Up will lift you into a higher dimension in which you are free to transmute and transcend any physical challenges from a place of metaphysical, energetic command. The journey will take you into every chamber of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual experience, challenging you to self-actualize and heal in ways that you may have never considered necessary or even possible to become your purest, highest version of self. It will demolish any resistance in your heart and mind to connect you with your innate wisdom, knowing, and truth that will activate your power as your own master, healer, and sage in life. You will learn how to answer any of your own questions by applying the principles and practices shared. If you have been looking for a profound transformation and awakening, look no further. This book is the red pill. That's in quotes. I don't know what that means.
The Matrix.
I just got it.
There you go.
Okay, I'm a little late to the. That will open doors to a harmonic reality by holding your hand through the process of becoming your most harmonic self. That only happens to me 97 times a week, and I usually have to say it out loud. By reading this book, you will start feeling that the whole universe is communicating with you, giving you hints, synchronicities, and clarity on every aspect of your life if you allow this to happen. Yeah.
And she's 25 years old?
Yeah.
I'm 40 and I can't figure out fucking lunch.
This is the thing. This is the thing. She you gotta, I mean,
it's impressive.
You do what you want, right? We all do what we want.
Sure.
But if you're, older than that and have not contemplated any of that, I've probably watched 4 videos in addition to a portion of the podcast with Danica. And of course, the Danica part turned me on because I drive a Porsche. And I'm like, because I didn't know much about her either. So that was intriguing to me. And she has since retired, which I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And She has a very interesting story. I mean, I can't watch podcasts like that. I have the attention span that I offer everybody else. The only exception has been the ones that I referenced earlier with the neuroscientists, probably because they're smart men, and I aspire to land one. But yeah, back to Gabi. I'll get the book. I'll probably I'm one to have, like, I'm not gonna have 900 gurus. I'm gonna share with you the gurus that speak to me, and then hope that puts you on the path to your own. As much as we have modern day gurus, just there are gurus in your everyday life. Sometimes the most flawed people have the most poetic advice. I just don't. I'm the type of person that very many people say, "Oh, if one more person tells me to check out a fucking unfunny comedian, that's number one. You should see this comedian. Number two is you should read this book. Number three is you should watch this program." And I'm like, nope. Tell me to write, and tell me to talk, and the sooner I get this all out of me, the sooner I can be in a house with a moat around it. Because that is the goal. Yeah. And that would solve my problem with my cat, too. A moat. Yeah.
An escape cat.
I have one. I have an escape cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has been indoor, and he's been he escapes. He gets out, and I give him a little bit of time outside, and I thought it would cure the itch. No. Now he hangs out by the door with a suitcase and a bandana on his head. I don't know where he's going. So, how many minutes there on Gabi?
Enough.
All right, fucking enough. I like that word. My father used to say that about E on a car. E meant enough.
E meant
gas,
enough, yeah.
For gas.
I would like to see you read the book, and then we kind of unpack it a little bit. No.
Really?
So when the
How
book,
about if I read 4 paragraphs?
I think everybody that just listened to this would want to kind of see that. Or at least read the paragraphs that are relevant to you, as you already told us.
Yeah, the last book I read front to back is and I don't even remember if I did it, to be honest, and this is the condition it's in after being in my hands this is the Pete Walker's Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving. I was asked by Lucia, we're going to talk about this tomorrow on her podcast. This is
Next week.
Well, with her tomorrow, then I'm with her tomorrow. She's with me next week.
With your recordings. I understand.
But she asked me to talk about this tomorrow, and this is where I'm going next in our next conversation. I have to take a break from CPTSD because I can't explain it. It just is something I'm trying to talk about without dread. But in preparing to talk about this with Lucia tomorrow, I realize it's one of those books, once I stop reading, I should start again. You ever have one of those? So there's just so much in there that will either continue to help me or help someone else. I mean, it's that good. And that's the only other book I read. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I read Jim Carrey's book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you read that book?
No.
That's a hard motherfucking book to read.
Yeah.
I had to. You can't. Well, I have that kind of mind, so I would imagine an ADHD mind. You read it and you fucking forget. You forget what you just read. Mm-hmm. So I read it to a certain point and put it down and went back and went, oh, Jesus Christ, this is like something I wrote. Like, what the fuck is going on? So then I backed up and I read like maybe 10 pages until it was done. And I just chose.
You
Like,
can't, once you
where-
start it, you can't stop.
No,
else you'll forget.
no. You have to, and again, I'm not saying my experience was I had to pick a tangent
Okay.
and go, because there was so much. It's just like the way my mind works. Like I had to pick something to follow because I was not going to follow. And I really enjoyed people reviewing that book. That made me tinkle when people would review that book. I'm like, yeah. What'd you think of that ride? Do tell. Yeah. So Falling Up, we'll see. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that listening to her is spectacular. So she's my intuitive guru. Equivalent to Carl Jung. Okay, there I said it. I haven't talked about Carl in a long time.
That's a pedestal.
That's a pedestal. She's
That's
on a
that's
pedestal.
the top of the ladder there.
She's on a pedestal.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's still a lot. I was thinking today, I was like, God, because there's a lot within Jung I still want to talk about because I think he's just, she talks about, he talks about harmonizing anima and animus in a way that's historical, that never picked up. She talks about it in a fifth dimension perspective, that already here. He's like futuristic, ironically, even though he's gone, and she's like, oh no, this is what's happening. Like, this is what's happening, and it's refreshing, and it's, if you think that way, I and this is hard to explain, but I've shared that this has a lot of guilt and shame in it, and I feel very compelled to be fifth dimension oriented, but popping back to the third dimension creates a lot of shame and guilt. And she doesn't have that. I'm a little jealous. Envious, in fact.
Thank you for listening and supporting Natural Born Redhead. If you follow the bouncing balls, please like and subscribe. If you know someone interested in sparing others grief and inciting joy, message me on Facebook or reach out via my website, Natural Born Redhead. J-Ma.